All right, today we're looking at EU. It's the date is 12/22, 22nd of December, 2023. Come up to the end of the year, and I'm looking at my high time frame. Look at my 1 hour chart on the left and my 1 minute on the right hand side. And the purpose of today's video is to bring awareness that I believe we've just experienced a higher time frame mitigation. Best off just to join one our daily chart here. So this is our high time frame daily chart. Each candle is 1 day's worth of data. Okay. Now, from a high time frame perspective, we've had a monthly initiation that's pushing us down. Okay. Now it's not drawn on the chart, and we could go find it if we need to, but suffice it to say, we've got my dailies drawn on the chart, which are very powerful. So we had this daily initiation range here that's pushed price all the way down, had another daily initiation range that's pushed price all the way down. And then what's occurring right now is that we formed another daily at the top here. Okay. Oh, it looks like a daily, and then, oh, sorry, beg pardon, it was a daily that's mitigated another daily, which means that we should be mitigating down. Okay. Now, I wasn't certain about this mitigation. I was looking up here and I wasn't 100% um, certain about it, but following from price action and what I've seen deliver, especially to this point today, it looks to me that we are now going short and going to take out this range at the bottom here. Okay. Here's what's happened. Now ignore the drawings. I know this can get a little scrappy and a little messy, but just sort of bear with me. So here's the daily that we've closed, came below it, all right? And that's all we need to know is that this big gray box exists and it is a daily initiation. Go back to my previous videos if you don't know how I draw them or come to a conclusion of those. And I was in this trade at one point. I took it for profit somewhere. I think it was off of this 1 hour, so I shorted to this point here. So, but that was just due to my negligence in understanding what was actually happening. If I'd understood everything that was happening, I would short it down to this blue box down here, which is a higher time frame primary, which is where I'd expect like a much deeper reaction. But the location is fantastic. So hindsight, I should hold this, and especially down to this range here. I should have, but it's okay. It took a decent profit. I think it was 39R, something along those lines. Um, Interesting. Yeah, maybe it was a 3 pip stop. I don't recall it being 96, so something's up with my tool here. But I think that was 39R for me. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about here. Why would we stop where we're stopping? Well, the reason is because we've just put in what I believe to be the 12-hour initiation down. Okay, this is the initiation range that's pulling the price down, and where it stopped was in the 4 hour. So everything's making sense, right? So we've got this daily, we're in within the daily, right? Here's that daily range. Come into it, and where did they stop? Inside the 4 hour initiation range. Beautiful location to stop. Makes logical sense. We also had a 4 hour here. We weren't sure if they were going to stop at this one or the one above it, but it seems as though we're stopping here. And then we've had this wonderful event. If I go to the 1 hour, on the 1 hour, we had this wonderful ending here. So this was the 2 hour push down, right? So we had this, a beautiful mitigation, and then initiated away. Now I was thinking a 2 hour, not very big, especially since we're coming into a 4 hour. So really, we need something a little higher time frame. And what I've been noticing is as they're creating these initiation ranges, even ended in a lower time frame one. As we create these initiation ranges, they end up sometimes creating higher time frame ones. And so, fully aware of that, well, as soon as I had this inkling that we were coming back out, or as soon as price did zip up here, had a really decent mitigation in the 5 minute initiation zone, pulled down. I still wasn't expecting shorts from there, even though I shorted and everything because price action told me on the lower time frame to short. I still wasn't expecting a break of structure here. And that is why I had this drawn on my chart. If we actually go back to previous videos, we might even see it on there, where I had this 12 hour just hanging out, and it looked a bit like this on my charts. right? And I had it drawn there because for a reason, and the reason was I expected price to come up to the top here, mitigate something inside of this green box, and then start pulling away. The reason I'm making this video today is because of what actually happened at the ending that's just occurred right now. And so to demonstrate that, let's go to the low time frame. So here's our 1 minute chart, and as you can see, we had this. We got a 5 minute actually might help it look a little bit more, uh, so we can see it. So we've obviously had a mitigation here, so we can conclude that this leg here was in a liquidated state. And if we look where did price come back down to? This leg down here. So this leg was in a liquidated state, right? So liquidation, liquidation, and then back up to here, another liquidated state. And so you'd expect that to happen on like a higher time frame, like the 5 minute, 15, or something like that. That's how we're going to end, right? And then I noticed right on the 1 minute at the very ending, we had the exact same process occur. Maybe it was more on a 15 second, it was clearer, but it ended in another lower time frame initiation range. Basically, we were in a liquidated state in this leg here. We were, because we just took liquidity from the top here. Then we moved back down into this range, which was in another liquidated state. Why? Because we took liquidity from below here, right, which had already broken structure to the upside, taking liquidity. And then it one more time went for its third to grab, and then it was an initiation. So from right up here, I was watching price up here, and I'm saying to myself this is initiation range. However, I've got to be cautious because these longs were strong, or at least strong looking. And so on the buy side drawings, lower time frame buy side drawings, here's that mitigation at the very top. And I've got a pretty decent HLL mitigation right here. And so I was like, well, I can't trade this until that's violated. It's just not going to happen for me. I do want to see proof. I believe we've had a higher time frame mitigation, and everything looks great to me, except for what are we coming into. And it was this powerful, strong HLL range. And the moment we had that occur, I was thinking to myself, okay, well, now I'm going to look for shorts. And of course, we've just sort of melted off here. So um, what's the anticipation rate? The second one, I'm thinking, well, typically past Gary, previous versions of myself would have been extremely FOMOing out. Oh no, I've missed the move, all this bullshit, right? Nobody cares whatsoever because I've got their asses. I know what's going on higher time frame, and all I'm waiting for now is a push up above a range that's broken structure. That's it. That's all I'm waiting for. A range here. Let's go to our sell side drawings. It'll make much more sense. So I've got all of these levels drawn out already as structure. These are all my structural lows I'm willing to let the market use as breaks of structure. And so we've got this one here, this range here, right? So I'm looking for my next break of structure with down here. So that means I've got liquidity stacked above here, right? So here's my next break of structure right down here. I know that it's not a straight drawing. And so this range happened here. And so I'm willing to wait for price to come above a structural grab before, a liquidity grab before I enter the market. So I'm just going to set an alarm right here. And I'm waiting very patiently for price to come back up. And I'm going to watch exactly where it wants to stop and what it wants to mitigate. And then I'm going to look for more selling activity, H and L, higher time frame and lower time frame mitigations, where price is coming up to create a sell primary. Now, I don't know where it's going to stop. I don't know if it will come up above this range and stop inside here, inside here, inside here, inside here, inside here. Don't know exactly where it's going to stop. I've got all of these sell primaries that are formed. So these are going to act as my H's and potential L's, lower time frames too, depending on where we stop and where they want to bring price back. But suffice it to say, we are short, and I believe fairly strongly that we've had the higher time frame mitigation event. I believe that this is now on this chart right here, on the 1 hour, we will see this start to melt away from this location. And this correlates with the S&P. I've got the S&P right here on my chart as well. Now, I did manage to hear something in the news, something about, days of, I don't know, days of money has just been wiped out in seconds, in like an hour or two. Took us so long to get to that point, it just got wiped out. Why? Sort of thing was the news thing that I heard. And I don't give a crap about news, one tiny little iota. But it was interesting just to jump on this chart to see that this chart's now poised in the exact same way. So I could show you, like from this point here, we could say that we're in a liquidated state, moved up into a liquidated state, right? And then are now moving down into a buy, created a buy primary and a breaking structure to the upside. So liquidated state, down into a third liquidated state. Now we're going to be pushing up and breaking structure, means the dollar is going to be strengthening, right? Versus what? Weakening. So if the US dollar, this is just the MES, like the mini S&P 500. So I believe that the mini S&P 500 is going to break structure to the upside. So what would that mean for the EU? The euro US dollar. Remember, E is euro and U is US dollar. So because the E is the first part of the euro US dollar, that means that if it's strong for the euro, it's going to go, price is going to go up. And if it's strong for the US dollar, then price is going to go down. And what we have right now, well, we've just had this big old event, which is going to provide strength, I believe, for the US dollar. And so the US dollar is likely from this point here to move down. What's my anticipation? Well, if I go to a daily real quick, I believe we're coming into this range here right now. I think that's the mitigation. I think we're going to take all this liquidity out and grab down here. So the next sort of few weeks, months, I don't know how fast it will be or whatever, but they could be very interesting. And so we've had a nice mitigation event. That's what today's video is about. Nothing too heavy, nothing too major, not showing you any trades. We're not trying to do too much teaching. It's more about just seeing and observing price and how it's reacting today out of this very, very important area that we are in, and to see the setup in which has occurred. Ask any questions. I can explain this better if it needs to be explained better. But yeah, happy trading. Keep crushing it, smashing it. Have a great Christmas. Don't know if we'll be doing any more videos now until sort of maybe next week or something, or maybe even the new year. Not sure. Yeah, have a good one. Peace out. Love, love. Aloha. Anyone watching, take care of yourselves.